Our devotional today grows from Psalm 46. So if you're near a Bible, grab it. We can read it together. If you're driving in your car, just listen as we read the words of the psalmist. Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth should change, though the mountains shake in the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble with its tumult. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy habitation of the Most High. God is in the midst of the city. It shall not be moved. God will help it when the morning dawns. The nations are in an uproar. The kingdoms totter. He utters his voice. The earth melts. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Come, behold the works of the Lord. See what desolations he has brought on the earth. He makes wars cease to the ends of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear and burns the shields with fire. Be still and know that I am God. I am exalted among the nations. I am exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Here ends the reading of God's holy word. So Psalm 46 is a psalm that I love. It's a psalm that has carried me over the last year. And I've been reflecting on it particularly over the last week and the good news that the psalmist shares with us. I don't know about you, but I have seen the earth changing and felt the mountains shaking and heard the waters roaring in the last couple weeks in ways that I never imagined I would. I have seen and felt and heard. And as I have, the psalmist's words of reassurance and hope, they have been vital for me. They have grounded me in the midst of this time. The psalmist assures us that God is in the midst of all things. The God that we know is our help. And in God, we can take refuge. I have needed that reassurance from the psalmist during this time. I've needed that good news, and I have a feeling that maybe some of you need to hear that good news today. If you are feeling overwhelmed as a parent or as a partner, as a student or a business owner, as someone who lives alone or someone whose home feels really full right now, as a child of an elderly parent or a friend of a healthcare worker, I want you to hear the reassurance of the psalmist today. The God that we know in Jesus Christ is in the midst of everything we are experiencing now. The God that we know is a God that helps. God is our helper. And the God that we know in Jesus Christ is a place where we can find refuge, take refuge. So maybe you need to hear that today. Maybe you need to hear that God is in the midst of what you are experiencing right now, that God is your help, and that God is your refuge. Maybe you need to hear that good news of the psalmist like I need to hear it right now. Maybe you feel completely grounded, and you need to share the message of the psalmist with somebody. I imagine there are people in your orbit right now who need to hear a reassuring word from God. So I encourage you to share Psalm 46 with someone who you think might need to hear it, so that they can know that God is in the midst of their life, in the midst of our world, that God is indeed our refuge during this time. Grace and peace to you today.